Okay, so hello students. Well, in my previous two videos, I already gave a overview of the new social science textbook for class 6 NCERT, and today we will talk about the first part of the first chapter, which is basically the introduction to social science, and also we will talk about some of the reasons of our study. Why do we need to study social science at all? And before that, I will also talk about actually what is this social science. And here in this figure you can see some of the stuff that we will be covering today. So lots of stuff we will cover, various themes. Okay, so let's start our journey now. Okay, so here on your screen you see a photograph. Well, it's a typical photograph, depicts the scenery of a countryside. The first thing that you notice here is, look over here, the water in the lake, right? Now you might wonder, where does the water in the lake come from? What is the process responsible for this water in the lake? Next, is this water drinkable or it is polluted? Fine. The second thing you notice here is the road, but it's not a very good one. A kacha road, you can say. So the question is, who made this road? And for what was the reason for making this road? Transport, basically. What is the reason? Is there any need for making this road in such a countryside over here? And the third thing, there are many things to observe. Now, you see this small house, sort of hut, okay? So maybe people are living over there. Of course they are living. What can you say about their economic status? Do you think they are very rich people? Of course not. Maybe quite poor people are living. So how are they getting their income? What about their livelihood? These things come to our mind. What are the activities that people living in this house are involved with? Next, what could be the history of these people? Where do they come from? Are they always living here, generations after generations? What do you think? And what's their possible future? So, past, here you can see the present, and I am asking you from the future. You might say, sir, what is this? You are just showing me a simple photograph, and you are asking me about the future of people even I am not seeing. Well, some of you have seen a lot of movies, suspense movies, sci-fi movies. What I am trying to tell you, try to be like an investigator for the time being and ask yourself questions. Look over here, this is a small hill. What does this tell you about the terrain of this place? Can you say anything regarding the annual rainfall of this place from just this terrain? Maybe there is a possibility. But for that, we have to study. And what is the thing that we will study? Basically, social science. Okay, so to get answers of every question that I have asked you, we are going to use the various tools and techniques of social science to understand what our society, okay, how we live, and where we will go from here to our future. Okay, so this is one photograph. Next is this photograph. Okay, again, well, this is a very contrasting photograph compared to the first one. This is not a countryside anymore. This is a city, a hi-fi city. Well, such buildings you will find in modern cities. Well, let me remind you that I am talking about social science from the Indian perspective. So this is probably a photograph of an Indian city. You shouldn't be surprised. Science and technology have progressed a lot, and we Indians have made great achievements. So this is a possibility, not just possibility, such cities do exist in our country. Now, again, similar to the first case, what do you observe? There are many things to observe, but let's, again, similar to the first case, try to find out. The first thing you notice is this road. See, this is a much better road. So, again, who made this road? Next question, why is this road so good? And why was the road in the previous case a very kacha road, and this is a very standard pakka road here? Okay, so regarding the road we talked about. Next, the car. This was not present in the last photograph. So, who is driving this car? What can you say about their economic status? And where is the person going in this car? Is he just traveling or going to work? We have to see. Next, look at this fabulous, fascinating, modern examples of modern architecture. Examples of modern architecture, right? They are not just your normal buildings. They are very nice looking buildings full of glass structures. They can be your mall, even corporate offices. I have even seen hospitals. They look like this. Okay, and look at the structure here. The structures are entirely different. Again, this is very different from this poor hut, old house that we have seen in the last photograph. Okay, so now these are some of the things that we can observe. There is not just one car. You see, other side of the road, another car you can also see over here, and this is quite empty. Maybe this photo is taken at a time of the day when the traffic is not very much, so we can get a sort of estimate of the time of the day when the photograph is taken. Look at the shadow of this car. The shadow is not just below the car, so the time is not 12 or noon. Okay, so there are many things to observe. Okay, fine. So compared to the first photograph, this figure here, it shows you the rapid progress in technology and how it has changed our life in so many ways. On the other hand, but this is everything everywhere is not, what will I say, how it should be. You all know that right now as we speak, there are multiple wars, armed conflicts, and racial tensions, various social tensions going on in different parts of our planet. And not only that, our planet's natural environment is under great stress. Say for example, the pollution, global warming. Who caused it? It's not nature, it's us humans, our activities, through our desire for rapid progress. We have utilized resources in a harmful way. So, and as a result, we have to suffer in the form of global warming, rising temperatures, greenhouse effect, pollution, air pollution, water pollution, and all that. Can you imagine the glass of water that we are drinking nowadays? There are small micro and nanoplastics in it. And nowadays there is research currently being going on which is trying to study the effect of these small plastic particles, microplastics, nanoplastics. Scientists are trying to study their effect in our bloodstream. How does our organs get affected? How long it takes? How to reverse the effects? See, where do these plastics come from? When you go to market, we have this habit of going most of the time free-handed. We don't take anything. We just go there. The shopkeeper will give us his or her plastic, and then we will put our stuff in it and come back. And after our work is done, we will just throw away the plastics. This micro and nanoplastics that we are getting even our drinking water, if we are not careful, if we do not use specialized purified system, then this will be very much harmful for us. Mostly because we are unable to see this. See, one of the harmful effects of rapid human progress. Similarly, all around the world, people often wonder. I have just told you some of the problems, very few of it. There are so many more. Anyway, so people often think about this, how to solve these problems, or maybe how to delay these problems, how to reverse their effects, so that all the societies in various parts of our earth, they live in peace and harmony. And again, how to reverse this global warming and pollution effects. That is, how to protect our beautiful Mother Earth. Well, you might say, sir, it sounds very nice, but it is very difficult. Now the thing is that in order to understand that it is very difficult, you have to at least get some idea about the solution. And to reach the solution, you need to understand the problem itself. And for that, you need the various tools and techniques of social science. Not just social science, science, technology, and much more. But social science plays a very crucial role here. Well, come on, that's why we are learning this very 0th chapter on social science. Okay. So as I was saying, these fundamental questions are quite simple, and unfortunately the answers are not that simple. Well, luckily or unluckily, the answers are very complex because our human societies is in itself very much complex and diverse in nature. So, as I was telling, if we wish to find the answers, then, and as a result, we want to build a better future for our upcoming generations, then we need to understand our world, all the problems of the world, human society in particular, and then only we can start thinking about the solution itself. And as I was saying, this is a very important task, and social science plays a very crucial role over here. Okay, so much of discussion. Now, social science, I have been telling from the very beginning. So the question is, well, what is social science? You see here in this word itself, there are two parts. One is social, another is science. So this is basically the science of society. Whose society? Human society in particular. Okay, so basically social science is devoted to the study of societies and relationship among the individuals within this society. Say for example, here I am showing you a very simple example of a society. So what's the relationship between this person and this person, this person and this person? What is the interrelationship between them? Maybe there is a group over there, they are part of a family and they are also part of yet another family. So what's the interrelationship between these two families and so on? Now, when we will be doing this study, it has to be a scientific study, not just any random study. Scientific, systematic study of various aspects. What are those aspects? You see, social, cultural, physiological, political and economical factors. We will have to study all these factors. Then we will be able to understand the actions and decisions taken by a single person or group of people in the society, and then we will be able to understand the entire dynamics of a society. Okay, so I have talked about what is social science, again importance of social science. Let me talk about this a little bit more. So what is the reason for studying social science again? So as I was telling you just some time back, studying social science can help us understand why the world is how it is, the way it is. Okay, you can study how humans behave, how decisions or systems shape our society. A very small decision taken by a government sometimes can bring a lot of happiness over the entire country or a particular community, and even in the other way around, it can also bring disaster as well. So this is what is important, how decisions shape the society, influence the decisions of a particular portion of the society. This we have to understand. Okay, and for that you cannot say no, this is not my cup of tea. No, we are all social beings, so we have to study our society dynamics, how the society behaves. Most of the people or government there who are there, they are, whatever decision they take, they first try to understand how the society will behave, what will be the impact, and then only most of the time that the decisions are made. They are not just random decisions. Most of the time scientific study is done, sort of simulation like study, to understand the effect, whether the effect will be harmful or so. Okay, now let us continue. So as I was saying, by studying societies and understanding how people behave and interact, we can build better societies. We can improve the way our government works. Everybody has flaws, come on. So what I am telling you is learning to get rid of the flaws. Okay, this is what the actual aim is. So yeah, we can improve the way our governments work. Again, we can improve our education system. Come on. The latest is a great example in this. The new NCF 2023, NEP 2020, they all prioritize critical thinking, learning the big ideas itself. they are trying to reduce the volume of the studies that previously students has to do. Critical thinking, reducing volume of the studies, getting the bigger picture. This is more important. And most importantly, getting rid of this remembering stuff, rote learning procedure. We have to get rid of it. So nowadays in the examination, you will get competency based questions. And what is that? Basically 3 parts. First is MCQ, next is your source based questions, where you get a paragraph and then related questions, just like in English comprehension. And third is case based. You get a sort of real life story or activity, and then you have to answer the questions related to that. So these are the 3 categories of competency based questions. So as I was saying, the government is now trying to improve our education system so that we can make better citizens for our future. We will be able to, what can I say, help in the progress of our country in a fruitful way. Okay, yeah, so we need to create better ways to help all members of the society. And remember the most important thing, only by understanding can we hope to bring about any change. Okay, fine. So this was the basic first part of today's lecture. Now let's go to the second part. And what's that? It's what you will be studying in this social science class 6 book. Basically, as you can see here, 5 themes have been included. So let us talk about these 5 themes one by one. The first is theme A, India and the world, land and the people. Here basically we will talk about landforms and life, oceans and continents, locating places on the earth, or basically human life, again plant, animal life, and maps, latitude, longitude. See picture over here. This is taken from this theme A section. Okay, let me again show you. So theme A, India and the world. Here basically we have 3 chapters here. These are the 3 chapters. Each one, you see, you will learn about the world. Here, in this figure, you will see 3 landforms: mountain, plateau, okay, and then the plains, where you can also see the rivers emerging from the mountains and all that. Next is the theme B, tapestry of the past. So this is basically, this theme is regarding the history. So previous theme here we talked about basically geography. So this very first theme centers around geography, and here geography is introduced to promote the understanding of interdependence of various regions and countries. As I was saying you, society dynamics. And basically here, through these 3 chapters, students will develop an understanding about the earth that we live, and also about the habitat of humans and other life forms. Okay, fine. So the next theme is tapestry of the past, which is basically regarding history. Now what is history? In fact, history is a record of people, places and events of the past arranged in a chronological order. See here, the first chapter here. Okay, just a second. Yes, in history, the first chapter is this, chapter 4, timeline and sources of history, followed by India, that is Bharat, and then the beginnings of Indian civilization. Okay, see, timeline. Well, we all know from various scientific investigations that our Earth came into existence about 5 billion years ago. However, life on Earth in the form of plants and animals appeared much later, and the earliest man came around 2 million years ago. And basically it took thousands of years for humans to change. Here you can see a timeline of the important stages in the evolution of life on Earth. Okay. And this is a map taken from Mahabharata. Again, this is the picture where you are able to see the timeline of the Indus-Saraswati civilization, previously which was often called Harappa civilization. Along with this, you get timelines of the Mesopotamian and the Egyptian civilizations as well. Linkage in timelines. So you will learn about them here. Okay, the third theme is regarding our cultural roots and knowledge traditions, where you see we will talk about, you will be learning about various Vedas and the Vedic culture. Say for example, what was the timeline of the Vedic school of thought? You see, it was centered around, say, from 1000 before Common Era to 1 Common Era. And this is quite related to the birth of Buddha and Mahavira. Again, what was the timeline of the various Upanishads? You will learn about this in this chapter. And after that, we have the very important chapter on unity in diversity. You can see here two examples. One being example of Sirius and pulses from different regions of India. And again here in this figure, you can see different names of similar festivals across India but the same date. Okay. Now, before I proceed, let me little bit talk about this unity in diversity. So the first thing is, what is diversity? Well, diversity means the state of being diverse. In India, basically, we have different types of people. If you look around, you see different types of people in our surroundings. They wear different dresses. They speak different languages. Come on, they have different eating habits. They also follow different religions. So in a way, diversity is a range of many people and things that are different from one another. Now, also, this diversity adds richness to our lives. How? You might ask. Well, let me give you an example. When we read a good story, even in other languages, we feel happy because it gives us lots of ideas. We are able to understand the emotion that the author is trying to convey, even if the language is different, but the emotion is being carried from that author to me. Okay. Another example, well, we can be friends with people who are very different from us, and this can enrich our quality of life. We can eat a variety of food that are very different from the food that we normally eat. We can enjoy by celebrating different festivals and wear even different clothes and even learn different languages. Okay, the next theme is regarding governance and democracy. Here, we will talk about 4 chapters. First is family and community, then governance, after that local governance in urban areas, and then local government in rural areas. Okay, so yes, 4 parts, 4 different chapters in this theme. After that, we have the 5th theme, which centers around the economic life around us. Here we will talk about the value of work and economic activities around us. See the picture here. What do you see? Basically a happy family. Look at their expressions. Right. Now, to keep this family happy, let us ask, what are the things that we require? The first thing is daily essentials. That means food, clothing, shelter, access to water. I have written down few only. Electricity and all that. Even internet to browse nowadays. Next, how does the parents take care of the children? They need money. So, another need is livelihood for adults. Next, what about the children? What about their education? How do they learn about the society itself? So, access to education for the younger ones. Now, let's move to the bigger picture. From family to a bigger picture. So, you see, no country, just like the family, a bigger family is our country. Well, so just like family has various needs, so country has also various needs, and basically we need to develop a harmonious sound. The country can develop harmoniously with a good economy itself. Otherwise, there will be trouble. Now, when I talk about economy, the first thing which comes to mind is, how does an economy work? Especially in a huge country where the population is more than 140 crores. Next, importance of money. So, what is money? Why is it important? Where does it come from? Next question, everybody is running after money. And that is, how can the money be increased? Okay. So here you will be getting some idea about the various activities, economic activities that people engage in, the classification of the economic activities, how the natural and human resources are best managed. So this is what you will be learning about in this class 6th social science book, centered, so history, geography, civics, economics, all together. Previously there were separate chapters in each. Now here they have tried to encompass everything in these 5 themes. Okay, so best of luck to you students. Happy reading and studying.